3 books that gave me an existential crisis. So this one I actually finished last night and thought I was going to have a full-blown panic attack at the end of it. And the last sentence was not fun to end the book with. But anyway, it is You Should Have Left. And by the way, what I said about the last sentence, you don't have to read the entire book to know why the last sentence would mess with your head. If you're not planning on reading the book and you want to just take a look at the last page, you see it at a bookstore, look at the very last sentence of this book and tell me it does not give you a panic attack. But anyway, a man stays with his wife and his daughter in this house that seems to be expanding while he's staying there, and he's trying to write a book. It is written in a series of diary entries, and so it is just his experience and how things devolve. And one thing I found so terrifying about this book is that my husband and I, we do have a daughter, and the daughter in the book is 4, so they're pretty close in age, and it was just really terrifying to read about all this stuff happening while you have a daughter and just how it ended. One thing, I almost gave up about halfway through this book because it did kind of slow down a bit, but it's so freaking short that I would just push through, and I'm so glad that I pushed through. So if you kind of get to a lull in the middle of the book, just I promise you, finish this. The next one is A Short Stay in Hell by Stephen L. Peck. It is a man who followed, I think he was a Jehovah's Witness, I believe. Anyway, he followed a religion, assumed his whole life that he was going to go to heaven, and he did not end up there when he died. He ends up in, I guess it's slightly more of a purgatory type of hell. But basically, to get out of it, you have to find the book that contains your life story. And that seems easy enough. So you're thinking, oh, I get to read all these books in search of this one book. But no, it contains every book ever written. So you're going to have a book just filled with the letter A. You're going to have a book with all letter A's and a letter B. So it's not like they're not all stories. Some of it is just nonsense. It is just such an interesting book. I cannot convey just how great this book was, and it is so short. You can read this in one sitting. The last one, I don't have a physical copy, but it is I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. This one probably messed with me more than any of them. So an AI computer basically keeps alive this handful of humans just to torture and mess with them in the worst ways. And considering the rise of AI right now, it was just such a terrifying book. And this was written like decades ago, so it was way ahead of its time. And the way these humans get treated and just the fate of all of them and how everything plays out is just so terrifying. And at the end of this book, like, again, I almost had a panic attack. Just really gets inside of your head, and I've never stopped thinking about it since I read it. So if you are someone who is kind of sensitive to stuff like this, make sure you have like a palate cleanser, something happy to read or watch after it. But I highly recommend these 3 books, and don't forget to follow for more recs.